Do you believe in demons possessing people? What about objects such as dolls? Throughout history, dolls have been used for witchcraft, rituals, curses, and idolatry. And there have been movies of dolls scaring people around the world for decades. So let's check out 5 dolls that claim to be possessed by a host. Let us begin with the most obvious, the Annabelle doll, most famous in the Conjuring franchise. The doll was given as a present to a girl named Donna by her mother. Donna and her roommate Angie began to realize the doll would be found in different places in their apartment and in different positions. After some time, messages started to appear near the doll, like "help me." They contacted a medium who concluded the doll was possessed by a little girl named Annabelle. A friend of theirs by the name Lou stayed over for a few nights. Lou awoke one night from a deep sleep and in panic. Somehow something seemed different. It was as though he was awake but couldn't move. He looked around the room and couldn't discern anything was out of the ordinary. Towards his feet, he saw the doll Annabelle. It began slowly gliding up his leg, moved over his chest, and then stopped. Within seconds, the doll was strangling him at the point of asphyxiation and blacked out. Lou, however, would have one more terrifying experience with Annabelle. Suddenly, rustling sounds coming from Donna's room aroused fear that someone had broken in. Lou, determined to find out who or what it was, waited for the noises to stop before entering the room and turning on the light. The room was empty except for the Annabelle doll, which was tossed on the floor in the corner. As he got close to the doll, he got a distinct impression that somebody was behind him. Then in a flash, he found himself grabbing for his chest, doubled over, cut and bleeding. His shirt was stained with blood, and upon opening his shirt, there was on his chest was what looked to be 7 distinct claw marks. They eventually brought the doll to demonologists who took it and put the doll in a museum. They were Ed and Lorraine Warren. Robert the Haunted Doll. The doll was first given to an artist in 1906 by the name Robert Eugene Alto by a servant that practiced black magic. Throughout his childhood, his parents at times would hear him speaking to the doll and heard a distinct voice with their son. Neighbors claimed to have seen the doll moving from window to window, and Alto's family caught glimpses of it running from room to room. In the night, Eugene would scream, and when his parents ran into the room, they would find furniture knocked over, and Eugene in bed, looking incredibly scared, telling them that Robert did it. When Eugene died in 1974, the doll was left in an attic until the house was bought again. The new family included a 10-year-old girl who became Robert's new owner. It was not long before the girl began screaming out in the night, claiming that Robert moved about in the room and even attempted to attack her on multiple occasions. More than 30 years later, she still tells interviewers that the doll was alive and wanted to kill her. In this case, the doll doesn't have to be a toy or an object 3-dimensional, and in this particular story, it's rather short. It's of a painting of a boy and his creepy companion doll. According to the owners, the figures in the painting move around at night and sometimes disappear from the canvas entirely. The boy in the painting was said to actually enter the room where the painting hung, and everyone who viewed the painting reported feeling sick and weak. Small children would take one look at the painting and run from the room screaming. Adults sometimes felt like unseen hands were grabbing them, and others said that they felt a blast of hot air, as if they had opened an oven. Mandy the doll. Another short story. This is the doll that cries in the morning hours of night and would open the windows in the house. At the turn of the century, the family had given the doll away to a museum where she haunted the staff by taking their lunches and walked around, and people heard her heavy footsteps. She will also take pens, books, and pictures. They would turn up later, but others were never found. She was later taken to another museum where she couldn't be placed with other dolls because she would destroy them. The staff would find every time the doll was placed alone, it would throw a tantrum and ruin the room. The doll has not been known to do anything evil. Paranormal investigators say it's just a sweet little spirit of a child taking presence of this doll. This is Ted the Haunted Doll. Ever since he bought the doll, he would hear strange sounds of crying. The doll would move on its own. One day, filming the doll, the owner found it had moved 3 feet from where he placed it. The doll's shoes were worn out, and the photos that were taken had strange energy surrounding Ted the doll. I could not find more information about this doll, perhaps in the future. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, stay tuned for more doll-possessed videos.